Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're doing something really cool today. We're literally peeling back the curtain on how AI, and specifically Claude, actually works under the hood. And the best part? We're going to do it without getting bogged down in any crazy technical jargon. Whether you're using AI every single day, or you've just heard the phrase large language model tossed around, by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly what Claude is, how it learns patterns from text, and why it talks to us the way it does.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll look at the attention breakthrough. Then, we'll map the AI brain. After that, we'll meet the Claude family. And finally, we'll look at AI in human society.
Section 1. The attention breakthrough, the engine of modern AI.
To really grasp how this tech works, we kind of have to look at how fast things are moving. It's wild. Everything kicked into high gear in 2017 with a single massive computer science paper called Attention is All You Need. Fast forward to 2026, and companies like Anthropic are literally decoding an AI's internal thoughts, while global summits debate its societal impact. But going back to that 2017 paper, it essentially gave us the large language model. And what is that exactly? Simply put, it's a massive computer program that has learned the patterns of human language by absorbing billions of words from across the internet.
And that brings us to the transformer. Now don't let the sci-fi name fool you. A transformer is just a type of AI architecture built entirely on something called an attention mechanism. It's a lot like reading a mystery novel. When you read, you don't focus equally on filler words like the or and, right? Instead, you pay attention to specific context clues to figure out who the culprit is. Well, Claude does exactly the same thing. It uses attention to highlight the most crucial context clues in your prompt to figure out what the next word should be. It's incredibly important to realize that it isn't actually thinking like a human. It's just unbelievably good at predicting the next logical piece of the puzzle based on patterns.
This was an absolute game changer. Before transformers, older AI models were, well, they were clunky. They were slow. And they read text strictly in order, one single word at a time. Transformer models completely flip the script. Because they rely on that attention mechanism, they can process huge chunks of text all at once, or in parallel. That's the secret sauce. That's what lets Claude absorb vast amounts of context in the blink of an eye and predict words with such jaw-dropping accuracy.
All right, moving to Section 2, Mapping the AI Brain, Inside Anthropic's Research.
Here is where things get super fascinating. Anthropic has this incredible interpretation research. See, AI models like Claude might chat with us in plain English, but internally, they actually think in incredibly complex mathematical numbers. It's basically a giant, superpowered calculator predicting probabilities. Anthropic's researchers act like translators. They're figuring out how to turn Claude's internal math back into human-readable concepts so we can actually see how it arrives at its answers.
And Anthropic isn't just building this stuff. They are intensely studying it. They've got the interpretability team mapping out those internal workings we just talked about. Then there's the alignment team. Their whole job is safety, making sure Claude stays helpful, honest, and harmless. And they even have a frontier red team. These are the folks actively trying to break the system, hunting for cybersecurity and biosecurity vulnerabilities before the bad actors do. They all work together to keep the whole operation on track.
So, let's put it all together. What actually happens when you type a question into Claude? Well, step 1, you send your prompt. Step 2, Claude processes your context using that attention mechanism. Step 3, and this is absolutely vital, a system called constitutional AI jumps in as a guardrail. It checks the potential answer against a set of core principles to make sure it's actually safe and helpful. Finally, step 4, Claude predicts and generates the words on your screen. But wait, why does it sometimes mess up or hallucinate? Well, at its core, remember, it's still just predicting based on patterns. If the pattern it learned is flawed, or if your context is confusing, it might confidently predict the absolute wrong word. Just like a person confidently guessing the wrong ending to a movie.
Section 3. Meet the Claude family. Tailored AI.
You know, there isn't just one single Claude. It's actually a whole family of models, completely tailored around what AI can and cannot do effectively. If you just need a quick, simple, everyday task done, like summarizing an email, you'd use Haiku. It's lightning fast. Need a good middle ground of speed and smarts? That's Sonnet. But if you're tackling something seriously heavy, like complex coding or deep reasoning, you'd pull out Opus or Fable. The underlying engine is exactly the same, but it scales perfectly to whatever problem you're trying to solve.
And people are definitely using them.
Anthropic's economic research looked at roughly 400,000 interactive sessions from real folks using tools like Claude Code. 400,000. So we're way past the theoretical stage here. This is hundreds of thousands of real-world interactions proving that these tools are becoming deeply integrated into how we solve everyday problems.
Which brings us to Section 4, AI and Human Society, the Road Ahead.
The 2026 AI Index report out of Stanford's Human-Centered AI Institute dropped a pretty heavy quote. They noted a widening gap between what AI can do and how prepared we are to manage it. That really shifts the conversation, doesn't it? It goes from, wow, look at this cool tech, to, okay, what is our human responsibility here? As these capabilities skyrocket, having transparent, independent frameworks to evaluate and govern this technology has literally never been more critical.
And we're seeing global society grapple with this in real time. Policymakers are actively navigating these massive shifts. Over in California, summits are focusing heavily on the state workforce. On an international scale, we see multilateral initiatives from the EU, China, the UN, and the OECD. Meanwhile, local state policymakers are trying to navigate some incredibly complex debates over AI's impact on jobs and productivity. There are a lot of competing political and economic philosophies at play here, and governments everywhere are simply trying to figure out the best path forward.
Which loops us right back to the core mission shared by institutions like Stanford, HAI, and those research teams at Anthropic. We literally have a historical opportunity right now, but with that comes massive responsibility. Demystifying that attention mechanism, understanding exactly how the AI works, and translating its numerical thoughts into human understanding, that is the very first step toward building a truly human-centered framework.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. As large language models like Claude keep evolving and predicting patterns with ever-increasing accuracy, how do we, meaning you, me, educators, policymakers, ensure they actually remain collaborative, safe, and truly human-centered? It's a huge question, and we all get a part in answering it. Thanks so much for joining me today to figure out how this incredible technology actually